Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, the dope ass dude, John Patrick, and I am so excited to be back tonight because we have such an amazing show. And we are making history tonight because we are allowing, yes, allowing some dope ass daisies on the show. Hey, this is the dope ass dude, so y'all not supposed to be here, but they forced themselves on here because they feel they have something to say tonight. So, hey, we're going to let these ladies come on here and give out what they believe they have to say. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel now. And once you subscribe, click on that little bell button so you can be notified when we upload new videos out here. And then also when you go on out there to subscribe, just go ahead and click that like right now so we can get pushed out to more people to enjoy what you enjoy. And then also remember, every Monday, there is a new episode each Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And after tonight, we only have 3 more episodes before we are done for the season. And so, yeah, make sure you go ahead and click on that subscribe button now. And then, like I said, new episodes every Monday. And then if you aren't following the podcast on TikTok and on Instagram, please go out and follow on TikTok and Instagram. I do dope dosages every day. And then also we post, cooking videos and me sharing recipes and everything. So, hey, go ahead and get on out there. And we're going to go ahead and get started. And tonight I have one of my best friends from Lexington, Kentucky. Chad Higgins. He is a phenomenal musician. He is a composer and he is an educator. So, Chad, what's been going on, man?
Man, not too much, bro. Trying to stay warm. It's a little chilly up here in Kentucky compared to Dallas, I'm sure, but no, doing well, man. Everything is good, man. We made it to 2023, so
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chad, you're an educator, right? So what what age group are you teaching? What grade are you teaching?
So I teach gifted and talented. So I pull kids K through 5, but then I also do a leadership group in one of the local high schools here as well. So I have kids all across across many of the grades.
Oh, wow. Nice. And for those, just a little history of me and Chad, we met over 20 years ago. Like 20 years ago, we were both struggling songwriters and trying to make it within GMWA.
Right.
And we met, I think the first time we ever met was at a Margaret DeRoe conference out in California.
Yeah. Bro, you man. No, first of all, no. I think we first met at the GMWA in August, and I think we met in California, I think in November. But bro, you the one that kept me from getting on that plane for coming back home because I was about to throw hands on your boy. Our names will not be mentioned. Yeah, you kept me in California, bro, because I was headed back to the airport.
Yeah, that was like so funny because this songwriter that he's talking about, you guys have heard some of his music. He is like a prolific songwriter, and he's wrote like for people, Yolanda Adams, like pretty much everybody this guy has written for. So you've heard his music, but this guy, and he's like outside of the church, he's one of the coolest people ever to be with. But in church, this brother will call you out. He goes off, and it is just like, oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, that's who Chad is talking about. And another funny memory of that same conference was we sung the same song, I Will Heal the Land, or something like that, Heal the Land, like every night of this conference, every night of the conference. And it was like, okay, we got it. He's going to heal the land. He's going to heal the land. So yeah, so Chad, we have known each other for a long time. He has 2 amazing sons that are doing some amazing stuff. And Chad, how long have you been teaching now?
Man, I started late. So this is just I'm entering or in the middle of my, I think, 8th or 9th year.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. And I'm going to tell you guys this here, and Chad is a living testimony to this here. Like Chad, like he said, he started late. He originally, he was a full-time minister of music, and he was doing his ministry and so forth. And then he went back to school and he got his undergraduate, and then he went back and got his master's degree. And he started this was like in your late 30s or something like that.
Yeah.
Late 30s when he started that process. So yeah, guys, it's you're never too old to go back and pursue your goals and your dreams and all of that kind of stuff. So Chad is a living testimony for that. But we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to play a little clip because I want to give you guys some history of where this podcast actually came from. So here we go.
Let me say one last thing, John.
Absolutely.
Women.
I was just about to bring that up.
We need you to stop.
Yeah.
We need you to stop saying that your man has to be tough. Your man can't cry. Yeah. My man can be showing emotion. My man needs to be tough for the whole family. Because, okay, you're a man and your husband, whoever is tough for the whole family, but now who's helping him, right? If he's tough for you and the kids, who has his back? Right. And that's one of the problems that need to be addressed. Women are going to have to start doing their part into it if they want men to stop,
Okay, so I just got a notification you guys couldn't hear that clip, but what's going on in that clip is, it was from a podcast that we recently had, and it was about toxic masculinity. And Serge was saying in that clip, he was saying, women, you need to stop, because women add a level of complexity when it comes to masculinity, because they're saying that men should be equipped to support, they should be equipped to lead, they should be equipped to do all of these things, and they're expected to do all of these things. And he's saying, if men are doing all of these things, who is there to support them? So Chad, let me ask you this here, because you've been married before and you're dating now. Do you think women are contributing to toxic masculinity?
I believe maybe to a certain extent. I also believe it's the type of woman as well. And what I mean by that is, so for instance, I would never date anyone like that. So as soon as I caught those vibes on the front end, that would be a no-go for me. And I think, just from people or, folks like that I see, even whether it's in the Twitterverse or, the internet or whatever, I don't know. They're a special type of woman. And again, it's just not anyone that I would see myself with. But the short answer is yes. I do believe that women do contribute to it.
Yeah, because, and then, funny thing about it is you always hear women saying what men are supposed to do. And I'm thinking well, how do you know? You never been a man. And where are you coming up with this criteria that men are supposed to measure up to this here? And I think a lot of times women come up with this criteria, these expectations based off of their dad. And I always tell women is, your dad as dad. Your mom knows your dad as husband, or boyfriend, or whoever he was in her life. And sometimes your mom may not even encourage anyone to continue to date him. She probably would think he's a bad person to date, because she knows him in that capacity. So have you ever experienced that, yourself? Do you think when you go into a relationship, women already have an expectation of who you are supposed to be in their life and what you're supposed to bring to the table?
Yeah, I think you kind of hit it on the head. That, the example that you just kind of gave or whatever, as it relates to, women kind of seeing that in their dad. And in a lot of cases, where the male was there and the male did provide or whatever. So I think they probably kind of have, just this sense of what the male is supposed to do. No different than probably some males that maybe were in a household where mom held it down and cooked and this, that, and the other. So that's just you got some males. It's all right, well, you need to cook every day, or you need to clean, because that's what I saw my mom do. My mom took care of the house, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I think it kind of goes both ways, but you really kind of hit the nail on the head as it relates to where this comes from a female's perspective, because you're right, especially, women that have good relationships with their dad, that's who they're measuring, that's who they're going to measure any man up to. So if they know their dad and dad was there and he worked 60 hours a week and took care of the family and this, that, and other, well, if you're not doing that, then there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I think,
Yeah, and the funny thing about that is they have this measurement of what their, they see what their dad did, but they never see what their mama did. And dad probably was working 60 hours a week, but mama was at home cleaning up, cooking, taking care of the kids. And this is what they don't want to do. They don't want to do these type of things. They want a nanny to take care of their kids. No, we can't afford no nanny. So no, we're not getting a nanny. And like I said, you always paying attention to what daddy did, but what did mama do to support daddy while he was out, working hard and everything? Women forget that part. So, okay, so this next clip, I'm not going to even try to play it, but this is what really has had the women ruffled up. So, and it was in response to what Serge said about women need to stop, with the expectations of men and so forth. So my response to that was, I do agree that women need to stop with the expectations of that, but I also believe, because he was saying who supports the man, and in that my response was, well, women are lazy. And I think that's all women heard right there. They just stopped listening right there at that point when I said women are lazy. But what I was saying was women are lazy in regards to a lot of women do not support their man. They don't even know what it takes to support their man because they've never asked what it takes to support their men. So today I did a little research. I called 3 married women. They've been married 20 plus years. And I just said, hey, how you doing? And they said, hey, how you doing? And I said, hey, I have a question for you. They said, sure. I said, have you ever asked your man what it takes to support him? And no lie, dude, all 3 of them said no. All 3 said they've never asked their man to support. What does he need to support? Chad, have you ever had a woman to ask you, hey, Chad, how can I support you emotionally, mentally, and on your grind? How can I support you?
I don't think that it's it was asked in that way.
Okay.
I will speak to Yolanda, my ex-wife, the kid's mom. She was very supportive, and I will say, so to her, she was extremely supportive, and it's like she understood what it was that I was going through, so what it was that I needed in the area of support. And so for me, my number one love language is words of affirmation. So just to know that someone recognizing, okay, that I am grinding or I am trying or whatever, what I'm saying? Just, hey, keep going. You're doing an awesome job, whatever. Just, and, it's something simple. It's something super simple, because like I said, guys, we're not, we don't require a lot. So a lot of times it's just, hey, you doing your thing. And I notice it.
Okay, so Chad, so here it goes. So I just had this debate with a good friend of mine today. So he said the same thing that you just said. He said guys do not ask for a lot. They don't ask for a lot. Now, do you think that contribute to women not supporting men? Because once one woman hear one man say that, or maybe they hear 2 men say that, then it applies to all men. And I believe women hide behind that because women want to do the 3 F's. That's what they want to do. They want to do the 3 F's. They want to fool him, make him think they little interested in what he got going on. Then they want to feed him, and then they want to F him. So there you go. I ain't going to say the last F. Those are the 3 F's for women. They want to fool him, feed him, and F him. So, but that's what a lot of women believe that satisfy men. They do not really ever ask him like, hey, how can I serve you? And not, let me not use that word serve, because I know that's kind of offensive for some women, but how can I support you? So do you think saying, oh, well, we don't need a lot, do you think that adds to women not asking men what he needs?
Possibly. I could see that. I could easily see that.
Okay.
I could easily see that.
So we got to come in. It says, I wouldn't say lazy, but I do believe they don't have much self-awareness as it relates to the male mental struggle. Do you agree with that, Chad?
Yes. And the thing is, the male mental struggle is real. You know, I can speak on that from personal experience. That is real. It is so real, bro.
Yeah. And I think that's what some women, I'm saying women, but I don't mean every woman. Let me make that clear. But some women, that's where they miss the mark with men, because they never really like he said, they're not self-aware of mental health with men. They just think, oh, he's being quiet, or maybe he's having a rough day at work. But if you don't talk to him and you don't ask him and you just assume, oh, he's just being the man, then that brother is going through a lot by himself.
Right now, but to that defense, we have to be, you know, we have to be made to feel that vulnerable, that we can have those discussions. Because again, I can only speak from my experience, dude. There's so much, man. Literally, I just kind of had this conversation this morning with an individual, but like literally, it's been within like the last 2 or 3 years to where I began to like talk about the stuff that bothers me to someone. So for the previous 42, 43 years, I kept it all inside. So I wouldn't talk to anybody. Nobody knew. You know, I just completely drowning. But if you were to look at me, oh, he's cool. He's good. So I think a lot of times, you know, as men, we have to be vulnerable enough to be open enough to say, hey, I'm hurting. Hey, I'm really struggling.
And let me ask you this here. So do you think women create that safe space for men to do it? That if he comes and he expresses what he's really going through, that he's not going to get punished for it when she gets upset with him and she throws it up in his face? Do you think they create that space?
Yeah. So I would say yes. So once again, I've not dealt with anyone that hasn't created that safe space. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, so got another comment from Willie. The fellas, thank you, fellas, for representing tonight. Yeah, they will match up to their dad and surpass their fathers if they were raised right. Okay, yeah, he's saying guys that were raised right, they will match up to their dad. Yeah, okay, nice. And then we got a comment from a lady, Yolanda. Okay, he already said it. They have to be open to share. Okay, so now it's back on the men. They putting it back on the men. Thanks, Chad. They're saying the men have to be open to share. She don't have to create a safe space. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, so Chad, what we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna bring Toya out. I see Robin has stepped away. I'm gonna bring Toya out. Hey, Toya.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know Chad already, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. So Yolanda, I have a question for you. Have you ever asked your guy, how can I support you?
No.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
But don't just say that. I have not said that just like that. But I do try to show up. For me, kind of like Chad said earlier, he knows what his love language is. One of mine is quality time, or being able to be there for somebody. And so if my guy is doing something, if he's, you know, whatever, he's in music or he's a theater, I don't know, whatever he's doing, I'm going to show up. It doesn't matter what else I got going on. I want to be there. So when he look outside there in the audience, whatever, he's going to see my face at the end of the day. So that's one of the things. Or if he needs me to be somewhere, I'm going to show up because that's what I need for me. But I've never just been like, what can I do to support you?
Okay, and I'm glad you said that, Toya, because I think a lot of times we do love people the way we want to be loved. Mm-hmm. And we show up for people the way we want to be shown up for. but that may not be the way they need to be shown up for. And I think that's why it is so important that we have that conversation. Like, how can I best serve you? How can I best support you and make sure that you achieve what you want to achieve? And I never forget when I originally brought this to you guys, one of the comments that I think it was Yolanda that made, she said, men will just say, well, just need you to have my back. And I get that's not clear communication. But I do think in relationships, when you are in a relationship and you are genuinely interested in somebody, a lot of things men or women don't have to say to you. You should be able to pick up on it. And if he's on his grind and you good with numbers, handle his books. That's what he means by having his back. Where he's weak, make up the difference there. Right. But I think a lot of times women, and I'm not all women, some women, instead of filling in the gap, they take over. And then when he pushes back on them, then they get in their feelings. And then here it is, it's all about you again. Again, it's all about you because you're supposed to be helping him, but now he can't even concentrate on what he needs to get done because he's consoling you. Have you seen that happen, Yolanda? I'm cooking up something here. Oh, y'all got on my apron tonight too, because we cooking up some well done meat tonight.
You keep calling me Yolanda like you don't know my name.
Oh, that's what I was about to say.
No, I saw Yolanda.
I let you make it one time, but the second time.
But Yolanda made that comment about men will just say, "I just need you to have my back." That Yolanda didn't make that. So Toya, what do you think about that?
Like you say, I agree. When you're in a relationship, you learn your person and you start to learn things that you have to do things to see what they like sometimes, because men do not communicate all the time, the way that we want them to communicate. Men are so black and white and we are 7,000 colors, period. So for us, we need to know A, B, C, D, all the way to Z. But a man can say, okay, I told you once, this is what it is. You don't have to ask no questions because this is what I want. It's pretty simple, more simple for men. And I think sometimes us women want the complexity of what you need. So if you say, like you say, you want me to have your back, I got your back. But what does that look like as far as my actions? I can be here. I can support you. Yeah. Okay. If I'm good with numbers, great. I can help you with your numbers, but what else can I do? What if that's not enough? Or I guess trying to, I guess like you say, take control of a situation. But if I'm good with numbers, then why would you fall back from me? If I'm helping you in that aspect, you should be able to go work on another part of your grind. If I got this under control. So maybe it's a control thing as well with that. I'm not sure, but I just think we both have to work together in the relationship. And like you say, wherever I'm weak, you make me strong, and it should be the same on my side. Wherever I'm weak, he should make me strong.
Yeah.
If he's weak, I make him.
And so let me just say this here. So we're gonna put this up on the question because in that comment that I said women are lazy and selfish, right? I said that. So I did say that, ladies. And then here go another point. You ladies are really proving this for me tonight. Tammy said, ladies, has a man ever asked how he can support you? This ain't about you. My point proven. This is not about the ladies tonight.
Now,
this ain't about y'all. This ain't about y'all. This is about women stepping up to the plate and supporting men. Because like what you just said, women are more expressive, so they're going to give great detail most times on what they need to support. But sometimes men are kind of like guilted into supporting women too, because they nag them, they continue to pressure them. So men in some regards have no choice but to support their woman, because if they don't, they're going to feel the wrath of her. So we're going to go ahead and bring Robin on out here.
Oh,
what up, Robin?
Hey, how are you guys?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
Good. So Robin, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Have you ever asked your guy how you can support him?
I've never said the words, how can I support you?
Check, please.
I missed it. But I mean, I've asked, like, do you need anything? I mean, I don't know if that's the same thing. Probably, according to you, it's not. But, I'm like, oh, okay, like, are you okay? Do you need anything? Sometimes you get an answer. Most times you don't. But.
And how do you respond when you feel you're not getting an answer? Do you just move on, or do you, come back to that? Like,
no.
You
need anything? Like, no. I mean, to follow up, are you sure? And they still like, no, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm good. Oh, okay then. All right. Okay, cool.
So what if it was like his grind or something, and he's out here grinding. You see him moving around and everything. So do you just ask him that one time, hey, how can I help you? Do you need anything, like with organizing your, stuff, or do you just move on?
Organizing your stuff. I mean, like, so is it that, like, I guess it depends. Different types of help, right? So it's like, do you need, getting your grind going or whatever? Do you need help to make it through the day because things are just going crazy and you just need somebody to just be there with you to, ease it up a little bit or whatever, So I guess when I ask, are you good? It's, for me, it's a general all around. Like, is there anything that you need help with? Anything at all, not necessarily just your grind, but your mental, but your physical, whatever it is. Are you good? So like I said, sometimes you get an answer, sometimes you don't.
So seeing that sometimes things can be missed in translation, like you say, are you good? And that means, hey, do you need me to create you some flowers? Do that mean, you do that? I know that's what that means to you. Do you need me to create you some flowers? Do you need me to pack up your suitcase? Do you need me to come set up your table at the vendor booth, put up the banners and stuff,
like that,
bring you lunch?
Right. So questions like that, I will ask, like, if I see you actively, whatevering, and I'm like, oh, okay, hey, you need me to blah, 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 blah. I see you out here, yada, yada, yada. Do you need me to blah, blah, blah? Now that you will get a specific answer for. Specific, yeah. But if it's just we're sitting on the couch and I notice that the vibe is off, and I ask, you good? But for me, it's kind of like I'm encompassing everything because I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of your hustle or just because, maybe this is a particularly hard day because something happened before, and you kind of going through it, So I don't,
So Toya and Robin, in the past when you guys were in relationships, because you both of you ladies are single now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were in relationships previously and your guy got quiet, did you just automatically assume that everything was okay? Or like, did you check up on him, Oh, Robin said
no. Like seriously, little friend, I am single. I just want to make that clear. Single, but I do date. I do date. And so I have a friend that I am actively dating. And I was just like, hey, and just the other day, I just said like, hey, you okay? You've been a little quiet, he was like, oh, I'm tired. I'm like, oh, like what's going on? Is anything going on? You need to talk about anything? And he was like, no, I'm just not sleeping. I'm like, okay, well, then I was like, well, maybe you should try like the noise. Then I just started doing stuff that I know I do when I can't sleep, making those kind of suggestions. So, I mean, but I do. I mean, I try. I'm definitely not going to pull your teeth to get it talking about, nah, you good. Then, oh, okay, then.
Okay, what about you, Toya? How do you go about that?
I'm the same like Robin. If it feels off or you are a bit more quiet than normal, or I feel something different, I'm going to ask, is everything okay? You good? You want to talk? What's going on? Because you seem different, and I'm gonna tell you up front, you seem your energy's off a little bit. You okay? So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
Right.
Okay. And then do y'all start cheering him up by talking about?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't do it when you were younger. Okay, so what got you to that place?
Therapy. Me working on my just I mean, not to be that person or whatever. But honestly, yeah. And I'm 40. So, and I started going to therapy like 3 or 4 years ago. So up until all this time, I was kind of like, hey, it is what it is, dog. Push through, you make it through, tap you on your shoulder. You got it, and I'm gonna keep going. So, but just with learning to be more open and communicate. But that's because I wasn't open myself to communication. I didn't want to let anybody in for my vulnerabilities or anything,
Yeah.
So being able now. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
So just now realizing that if I want that from somebody, I have to be able to present myself as that way, So it's easier for me now to have those type of conversations. But baby, you would ask me this question like 5 years ago, I would have been like, child, you would pull yourself up by your bootstraps and keep going. That's what we all do, and everybody needs somebody.
Yeah. So Willie said, and I think this is really good. He said the way you guys, and I'm assuming he mean women, the way you guys asked shut the door on guys opening up. Like
maybe
it's the tone that sometimes women choose to ask a guy, like, are you okay? Make him feel like, hey, no, this is not a safe space, so I can't talk to you. Do you guys agree with that?
I do. I agree that tone makes a huge difference. And that's with any conversation you're having with man or woman, your tone is going to depict how that person reacts. And like you say, if it's not a safe space for them, you can't expect no one to open up to you or even tell you what's really going on.
Yeah. Chad, have you ever had that happen to you? She come in and she's like, hey, what's going on? Why are you looking sad again?
Again. So yeah, I've definitely been asked, but I think it kind of, but just like I shared before the ladies came on, it took me, just up until like the last few years before I would be honest and open about things, because again, I would say, oh, I'm good, knowing that I'm drowning, knowing that I'm struggling, knowing that whatever. But I'm kind of like Robin. I mean, it took me forever and therapy to finally begin to learn how and feel okay in sharing, how I was really feeling about things.
Yeah.
And that's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, opening up is not easy. And especially, I think it requires a special level of trust to open up. And I think a lot of times people believe because you've been in a relationship for a long period of time, you automatically trust people to be vulnerable. And that's not true, because people, a lot of times in relationships, we don't do this intentionally, but when we do get upset, we tend to rehash what was told to us, and we use it as a weapon against the person. And then all that does, it just make them never ever tell you anything again. And then you wonder why there's a void in your relationship. And that's where sometimes it comes from. But Omar said communication is key. As a man, you have to communicate your needs with your partner and make sure your needs are being met, vice versa. Okay, cool. Y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that is true. So are you guys great communicators in relationships, ladies and gent?
I like to think
I'm still getting there. I'm learning.
Okay, so Chad, you shaking your head. Well, I mean, you're not a great communicator?
No, I suck at communication. I'll be the first to admit that. I am horrible at communication.
So what makes you horrible at it?
I don't know. I think it's just, first of all, probably being stubborn and me thinking like, but it's like, so for instance, like ladies, y'all ask, what's you okay? What's going on? And I'm sitting there and thinking in my head, oh, you should know what's going on with me. So I ain't gonna tell you because you should know what's going on. So yeah, I'm horrible at communicating. Horrible.
Okay. So ladies, do y'all know what be going on with y'all men? No? Do y'all
not
pay attention?
Not a mind reader.
Wait, if you tell
what's going on because you're acting different or you're moving different, but to know what's going on in your mind, no.
Yeah. We think that y'all should be mind readers. We just do.
Okay, so we got a question. And
I used
Chad,
to think y'all to be able to read my mind, so it's okay.
We're going to let Chad answer this one here. It's from Yolanda. She said, if I'm asked to help or support in a particular area, I'm all in. How do I not get to the point where you guys feel it's controlling?
I think that if you know your mate, you kind of know the intentions more than anything. So if you've been with the individual for any amount of time, you know, I know that if you know that you have my best interest at heart. I know that you want what's best for me, not necessarily that you're trying to control or be manipulative or anything else, or try to make me feel less than or whatever. But I think it's you knowing your mate more than anything.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think it is you knowing your mate, and then I think it's also you knowing the pace of it. Because sometimes I think, you know, if you are a fast thinker, if you're a quick thinker and you move quickly, we move too fast for people. So we're taking them too fast and we're giving them great ideals, but we're giving it to them too fast because they haven't made it there mentally. And that's when it seems as though it may be a little control, because at that point, if you're already 2 miles ahead of them, they haven't processed where you are. So it seems like you're telling them what to do opposed to making a suggestion. But I think, again, like Chad said, it all comes back to knowing your mate, because when you know your mate, you know how to get what you want, but say it in a way that they're not going to feel like you taking over. Because most times you are trying to take over women. You think, hey, I got this plan. You ain't been doing it. So this is what we're going to do. And my way is the right way. And then when he clap back at you and be like, I just asked you to count
my
the dollars.
way is the right way. Okay. If you just listen to me, you know it is.
Okay, Robin proving my point right there. She proving the point. She's like, hey.
The reason I'm 3,000 why I'm single. Like, no.
So, ladies, what do you think about that? Do you think that in those moments, sometimes y'all can, and your intentions are pure? You are trying to help him, but do you think maybe sometimes y'all do take over because he's not moving as fast as you would like him to move?
Well, maybe he's not moving fast enough, but sometimes, you know, somebody with a different perspective, not, you know, seeing it from a different perspective, you may have ideas that could help him move better or faster in a different way. But, you know, I guess you still have to, as a woman, you still have to kind of fall into what he's doing so that you don't become controlling or whatever. But it's hard. I guess it's hard, but I guess that's where communication should come in the most. If he is feeling like I'm being controlling, say something opposed to being upset about it and feeling some type of way or shutting down or whatever. But I think the biggest thing is going to be communication, like Omar said.
But he does say that.
If I am overstepping, tell me so that I can.
He do. He just be like, no, I don't like that. I don't know.
Okay, babe. Well, we're gonna keep doing it your way, and that's it. That's how that should be. That's how it should be. Now, all the time, it's not like that because all women are not the same. But all you can do is give someone a suggestion. If he ain't feeling it, or like you say, he hasn't processed that, or that's not the way he wants to go, then at the end of the day, it's his grind and what he wants. So as a woman supporting him, then I need to fall back and go with what he's asking me to do.
And see, by looking at Robin's face, Robin is like, Robin is going to be like, okay, you don't have to do it. We can do it your way. That ain't been working already, but we can do it your way.
Right. Like, are you sure? Your way now don't seem to be working, boo. You don't seem to be going where you're going. I need to think about this a bit. Let's
have you ever had that to happen when you were selling CDs? Was your spouse at that time saying, hey, well, I think you need to do this here, and then they just went ahead and did it?
No, I didn't deal with that, bro.
Okay, you didn't deal with that. Okay, Chad getting quiet there. He's like, "You're not about to get me in trouble." Okay, so
I'm laughing on the inside at Robin. Like, you're funny.
So Keisha Dunn from 40 Ain't For the Faint, amazing podcast for those out there. Go check her out. She said Chad is honest about his shortcomings, as we all should be. That alone helps break down the wall between men and women, and I think that is great. But unfortunately, in most relationships, your honesty is not good enough, Chad. We need you to work on your communication, because like Toya and Robin just said, I can't read your mind. So yeah, that's really good. Okay.
Right.
So in supporting, let's go ahead. So grind. Let's talk a little bit about grind, because nowadays a lot of people have their own hustle. They are grinding and they are just trying to make things work, like, so Chad, I know you are an educator, but you are still a musician and you still have your own grind and everything. Do you feel supported by the women you date when it comes to your grind?
Yes, that's something that is understood on the front end as it relates to, that is number one, it's a part of who I am. Number two, it's a major source of income. So it's something that, that is kind of, talked about, explained, and kind of more or less understood. Like I said, man, I've not, dealt with anyone that would just be unreasonable about, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And Chad, you kind of like a fan favorite. Got another comment. Thank you, Chad, for your thank you for your honesty, Chad. That's our struggle.
Vulnerability.
So, Chad, you are really a dope ass dude. Thank you for your honesty.
Just keeping it real. Yeah, I'm struggling, bro.
I ain't got one comment. They like John ain't about you. So Chad, when you say that it is, kind of like expected up front, is that something that you express to them when you start dating them, that hey, hey, this is what I do, I want you to support me in that? Or do you just expect for them to automatically assume that they are supposed to kind of like support you there? And I say supposed to because if they're not supporting you, you're going to X them out some kind of way eventually.
So probably the latter. I don't think I've ever said, hey, I'm a songwriter, I'm an artist, I'm a teacher, or whatever, I need you to support me. So I think that that's just something that we should automatically do as, again, as your mate or whatever. So it's no different than, whatever occupation or grind that someone has. I just think, again, if we've got that person's best interest at heart, then we automatically support it. We automatically find ways to support it.
I'm 100% behind you, but looking at Robin's face, she don't agree with that. So,
Robin? Right, now she did have that look on her face, like,
supposed to support him. So, ladies, how do you feel about that? So, when you go into a relationship, and let's say, for instance, your guy has a grind, and he doesn't say, "Hey, it's an expectation for you to support me."
Oh my God.
But there is an expectation. Do you ladies go into that situation with the mindset, okay, he got this going on, I'm going to get interested in that because I want to be his help meet in that?
Would you like to answer, LaToya?
It seemed like you had something to say. I wanted you to go on. I wanted you to go on and release.
I'm gonna get cussed out in these comments. But listen. Okay, you know what? No, I'm gonna say it this way. So I would have to it depends on the hustle, on the side hustle, because
it's illegal. It's legal. It's a legal hustle. It's illegal.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking anything illegal. I wasn't thinking that way. But I swear to God, I'm in Dallas, Texas, okay, and every other dude is a producer, songwriter, musician. You know, it's just like, oh my God, if I come across another one who wants me to go to work and try to pass out these sample freestyle, what do they call open? I'm not like, no, I'm not,
Wow.
I'm not supporting you. I'm not doing it. I'm not handing out flyers. I'm not gonna be standing outside the club with a microphone talking about y'all need to come in here and see my baby. He about to get it. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm sorry. But if it's something, you know, that I feel like but then also I'm not, I love art and, you know, all things artistic, but I'm not artistic myself. So I definitely wouldn't be able to help you out with anything, you know, because of that's not my ministry, you know, as they say. So I wouldn't be able to help you out in any capacity anyway, other than to pass out CDs and files and stuff like that. But if it's something that I feel like that I can contribute, like if I really honestly believe in you in that way and feel like you legit have a stand in that, but at this point, boo, we 45, 50 plus. Hang that up. That's fun hobby, and keep it as a fun hobby. You got your 9 to 5. Let's focus on that. That 401k, that pension. But we need to make sure we keep it. That's it. All right.
Okay, before I respond to Robin, LaToya, we're gonna move on over to you.
Okay. I'm good at support. I'm kind of like Robin. If it's some janky stuff, I may show up a couple of times, but if it's not looking like it's a passion and it's really what you want to do, I'm probably going to be busy a lot of the times, or I'm not going to show up like that, because what are we doing? Like, it seems like you playing. Are we playing, or you need to do something different? But I can be here, boo. Oh, you got to show tonight. I'm gonna try to come through.
Okay,
but if I don't make it, I can't wait to hear about it when you get on.
But let me ask you this here. So when you come in and you ladies you are measuring the validity of his grind, is that fair? Like,
life is not fair.
Really? Like, period, LaToya. Not fair. Okay, it's not.
Listen, no, it's not.
I told you my side hustle. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay. I'm almost 40. Like, at this point, sir, what are we doing? And it's okay if you start late. I get it. That's great. I support it. But if you're not showing passion, you're not showing dedication to what you're trying to do, then if I'm supporting you, I'm probably going harder than you. And this is what you want to do. And I will not do that. But as far as I can be a good supporter, and I want to show up for you if that's what you want to do.
But what if he's the man of your dreams? Like, what if you go into this relationship and this guy has everything you've been asking God for, you know, and this hustle is the overflow. It's like his cup is running over. Well, are you gonna not support him and lose him?
No, if his cup is running over and I got everything I need, then okay, boo, do it. Woo, yes. I'm gonna watch virtually though.
But you know what? But I agree. I think Keisha just said it. I get that, Robin. Just no foolishness. So, like, as Robin was saying that, I'm agreeing. And like y'all said, look, we 40 plus. We aspiring to be rappers and stuff. No.
Hey, come on, 2 Chainz came out late.
You've been trying to do that since you were 25. Let it go.
Okay, so Yolanda asked, she said, can I still have my own grind and support you? Absolutely. Don't you? I don't think because you're supporting him, you should stop your grind, because technically he should be supporting you in your grind as well. It should be an equal contribution here. You know, when I'm not grinding on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and maybe Sunday at brunch, then I'll support you Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Y'all agree?
I mean, it's not gonna happen, but in theory, yeah. In theory, that's great. But in real life,
Chad, would you support your woman when your grind is off on your off days for your grind? Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
See, that's like the double standard where it comes in, where women don't want to support the man. You know, they want to put his grind on a ruler and be like, yours is not real because you're a rapper, but here it is, I'm a in-house beautician over here.
Oh no.
No license. You can just do a finger wave.
we are the same.
Hey,
so we have
that is a lost skill. Is a lost skill.
John, that is not the same.
Here's a compliment for me. A compliment. Like, she kind of cut me and complimented me at the same time. John knows how to lay it on thick. I sure do.
Ooh,
so so can you have your grind and support you? What do you like? All of y'all think yes, you can have your own grind and still support him?
For sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we got another from Keisha. Why she can't have Friday, Saturday, Sunday? It's about the men tonight. Again, these women are proving my point. They're selfish because they're making it all about them. So let's see what else we got. Making money, send me some customers. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So while you out doing your CDs, send them on home to get a finger wave.
I'm doing my finger waves. My gifts. Here you go, a little party.
Okay, so we've talked about emotionally. Now we've talked about the grind. So let's talk about spiritually. Like, do you ladies, like, when it comes to relationship with Christ, we're not going to say, or with God, we're not going to say religion, because religion, you know, that could be Baptist, Church of God in Christ, it could be all the denominations and so forth. But when it comes to relationships with God and spirituality, are you ladies supportive in that? If you get with a guy and maybe he's not, you know, where you are spiritually, do you support him, or is he X'd out?
I'll definitely support him. I've been in church all my life, so I've known about God all of my life. So no one is typically on the same level when you meet them, but I'm sure there's things he could probably teach me and things I can teach him as we love God and serve God together. So I wouldn't X him out for that.
Is that a requirement for you?
I don't want him to be an atheist or not be a believer. I would love for him to at least believe in God and know God for himself. I kind of need that.
Okay. And Robin, what about you?
Well, why you laughing? So I'm not very heavy in the church. You know, I used to be, you know, hardcore, you know, but I'm not anymore. So for me, someone who is very deep and heavy in the church would not be a partner for me, because I already know that I will be able to support you on like the very surface level of it, like, oh, cool, you know, but as far as like being, let's hold hands, let's pray together, and so, you know, like I already know I'm not going to do that. Mm-hmm. So someone who is very spiritual in that way, you know, we wouldn't mesh. Like, you know, it wouldn't click. So
yeah,
for me that way, no. But you know.
So when Chad was peddling CDs out of his trunk, his Christian CDs, you would have been like, nah, bruh.
I mean, he's in the trunk, sir.
Chad used to be that starving artist y'all was up there ranking on earlier. You're like, hey, I need you to come here, me steal some CDs.
Right.
Chad, that was him.
Talking about me and didn't even know it, Robin.
So Chad, how important How important is that for you, Chad, as a man, that you have that spiritual support?
So I like LaToya's answer. So I think that number one, the individual, you have to know God. You don't have, you ain't got to be in church every week or whatever, but you just can't be a heathen either, just out wilding, So I think that, that's, and it's not anything that I would necessarily push, beat you over the head with, the type of thing if you weren't, in at church as much as me or whatever. So I definitely think that you have to know God. As it relates to how important is the support, I mean, once again, when you know your mate and your mate knows you, then I think you automatically kind of feel that support without it being spoken a lot of times. So
yeah. And like, and go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that, especially in relationships, spirituality, religion, all that is very serious. So I do believe in being equally yoked. So I honestly, sincerely do not believe someone who's into religion, if you even just a slight bit, I go to church every Sunday and Bible study, you getting with somebody who doesn't, you're not gonna, to me, that's not a good mesh. Like, it's not going to work out for you, because you definitely are not equally yoked, and you don't want somebody who's going to drag you down. And the person who's not in the church like that don't want to feel like they're being forced to go in order to be with their partner. So that definitely is something that any person in any relationship should take into consideration, especially if you're trying to be romantically involved with that person. That's not it's not anything to play with, and it's not a joke, and it's very serious.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, it's really about communication. And when I made the initial statement that women are lazy and that they are selfish, it was pretty much based on communication, because I said, and I still do believe this, a lot of women, they hide behind the stereotype that men don't need that. And a friend of mine, we was talking, he said today, I don't require much, but your much may be too much for somebody else.
Right.
Because your much may be a lot. It's small to you, but it's a lot to them. So I think that a lot of women do hide behind the stereotype, oh, men don't need that, or my man, he's not like that, he doesn't need that. And most times they've never had a conversation to ask, like, what do you really, really need? And then I've listened to all of you, and I just say this here, like for me, support is enormous for me. And at this phase in life, like if you're not watching my podcast every Monday, we ain't dating. That's just like, you need to tell me what we talked about, who was on there, all of that. No, I'm for real, because like, that's what I'm passionate about right now. And I want someone who's going to support my grind and not become jealous of it, and be a support my passion, because that's what happens when you're in situations with people and they do not support you. They eventually become jealous of it because you're giving it a lot of time, and you need people that will be understanding that this is something that is important to you. And because it's important to you, it's important to me. So I'm going to ask, if I'm dating Robin and I know Robin is interested in something, I'm going to support her, because I want to be able to pour into her to make her better. And I think that's where relationships fail on both parts, men and women. We never, ever really ask people, what do you need? How can I best serve you? How can I help you get to where you want to be? We just assume we know it. And that's where we always go wrong. And ladies, my African American sisters, that's why Becky with the good hair comes in, and he goes over there with Becky, because guess what? Becky is listening to him, because he's talking to her, because he can't talk to you because you're not a safe space. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I just had a Jerry Springer moment.
All right.
Closing argument. So we got to go around. Chad, you got any words you want to say before we close out?
Bro, thanks, man, for the invite. Ladies, just to kind of give you just a, first of all, y'all follow John on Facebook?
Absolutely.
Right. So you saw that foolishness that he had in his story today.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, you saw it, Toya.
I didn't
How
see
do
that.
you how do you like your meat?
Oh, I saw the TikTok. I saw the TikTok.
Right.
I was nervous.
TikTok.
I'm like,
for me. Like,
right. I'm like, he just being a whole thirst trap. So I just immediately texted him. I'm like,
yes.
so it came from that to me being on here with y'all. So, but bro, thank you so much, man, for the invite.
Yes.
It's been real. So thank you, guys.
Awesome. Toya, what about you? What final words you got for him tonight?
Awesome. Again, yes, thank you. And it was good talking to all of you guys today. I just know what I will start doing is I will say out loud to my man, how can I support you? So he can tell me how. So I learned something a little bit today. So I appreciate that. And
Chad, we're changing the world one woman at a time. One woman at a time. Robin, make us have two. Make us have two. You are like a hard case. We're going to count you as 5 by yourself.
Listen, I already asked you. Yeah, right. Okay. I already asked, goddamn. I need you to be forthcoming. Be forthcoming and whatever it is that you need, regardless of what it is. Okay. If you need me to I just need you to sit here and be quiet. Just say that. And I'll be like, okay, cool. I will sit there and be quiet. Okay. But you got to say something. You got to.
So that's progress.
But you know, thank you. I accept the compliments.
Oh my God. But thank you all for being on the podcast, y'all. This has been amazing. And all of you, thank you for checking us. Chad, where can we find some of your music before we get out of here?
Anywhere. Go to YouTube Music. Go to what's the Apple platform? But it's still on all of the streaming platforms. Yeah, still on all the streaming platforms. Chad Higgins, and In Spirit and In Truth. So I've got 2 CDs out. He Is Who He Is and Predestined. So anyway, yeah, go check it out on any of the internet platforms.
And I'm gonna tell you guys, amazing music. And this is not a shameless plug. I do have songs on there, but it's not because my song is on there. It's honest to God, like both his CDs, his freshman CD and his sophomore CD is like amazing. So go out on all of those platforms and check his music out. And J. Chad Higgins on all platforms, right, Chad?
My Twitter, I'm getting into Twitter more. So it's Chad Higgins is it. Then I think everything else is J. Chad Higgins. So
okay. And
Robin, send me a Facebook friend request, all right? So I can keep up with you.
Robin.
I will. I'll send you one.
We need to keep up with your progress.
I know, right? He gonna call me out. He be like, "Go back on yours. I can tell y'all what she didn't do."
Toya, where can we find you?
Instagram. I'm Chosen Millionaire Chick.
Okay. Chosen Millionaire. That's what I'm talking about. And Robin, where can we find you?
Right. Child, I don't use my social medias. Yeah, I can look at me if you want to. It's gonna be boring.
Y'all can find Robin on the singles list on every platform. Because after they listen to this video, they're gonna be like, oh no, I'm not dealing with that chick. But thank y'all again for watching. And we will see you guys next week with Chris Edwards. He's going to be the guest for next week. And so we'll see you guys next week and have an amazing night. Peace.
Peace out.
Nice.